A Christian husband admitted that he once told his wife that her breath smelled. Social media thinks he hates his wife. Is this another humiliation ritual or just a misunderstood man? Let's unpack it. So, a little backstory. Nissy is a somewhat popular UK influencer that I know from like the show Backchat. It's a YouTube show. They used to discuss like relationship and social issues. So that's where I know her from. But I know she had like a YouTube channel. She's doing a bunch of social media stuff that I never really followed until I saw the discourse that's happening on TikTok or Instagram because of what her husband Ben said. And so Ben had an interview. There is a clip from that interview that is circling around of some of the things he said. So we're gonna watch it together and I will share my thoughts.
I remember saying to my wife, I love women. I love women. She looked at me like, what do you mean? I said, babe, I'm attracted to women. Now, of course, you are my woman. But I would be very naive to tell myself, oh, because I'm married, cheating is below. No, it's not. This is why you're seeing big men of God falling, because they've almost became naive. I remember I heard someone say there are certain men of God who reach a certain level that they can no longer cheat. I said, what do you mean by that? It's that kind of naivety that has people lost. And I said that's obviously the initial statement I said to my wife was shocking, but then I explained it and she was like, oh no, I understand. So we have some blunt, honest, transparent conversations you wouldn't believe. My wife knows everything. I don't care. I don't care. Because if I was to lose her, I wouldn't care. You know, my life things wouldn't matter. I need her to know everything. There's no barrier. There's no secrets. Here, take it. Have everything. I remember telling her at Waterloo Station, I said, baby, your breath stinks. And that was one of the most amazing things that ever happened in our relationship that became a marriage. Because she was offended. She was very offended. And I said, listen, as your husband to be, if I can't tell you your breath stinks, then who can?
Facts.
Who can? And for those who know the marriage that myself and my wife have, there is no barrier. There is no barrier.
Mr. Ben. There's a lot to unpack here, but just to start off from the go is this man does not hate his wife. So that narrative of he hates his wife, I don't see that, and I didn't hear that from what he said. However, I think the biggest issue with this is the delivery was whack. Just bad. People that are gonna come on social media and give us honest truth need a PR team. You cannot just come and say whatever that comes to your mind and think we are going to understand. Because even he said the first time he said that to his wife, or some of the things he said to his wife, she was like, huh? What do you mean? So you can't then say that same level of brutal honesty and expect people on the internet to understand. You know what I mean? For social media to just understand it. Also, I think just mentioning your wife's oral hygiene is just a bad idea. It's just not something to be said. I know you're trying to be honest and trying to just like lay it as it is and say it as it is, but I think we just have to be a bit delicate with some of the information we share, because these things are permanent. It will always be it would always be online, and just casually mentioning that you told your wife her breast milk. There's no need for us to know that there was a time in Nissy's life that her breath was smelly in Waterloo Station. We did not need that personal detail. So it just comes back to, I think the delivery is just really bad, and that's why it was misunderstood. I think this idea of people coming online, especially when it comes to marriage, people coming online and want to be like really honest with us and want to tell us as it is, give us the mess. Social media is not ready for brutal honesty. We're not ready. We want to hear some truth, but we don't want to hear the mess. We don't want to hear it like you would say it in your group chat. That conversation, keep it in the group chat. Keep that thing in the group chat. Tell your homies that story. Tell your homies the raw, unfiltered truth. Keep it between you and your wife. If you are going to come online and tell us anything about your marriage, I don't care what it is, you better package that thing. You better package it Not to say don't tell the truth. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. You can tell the truth, but you have to package it in a good way, in a way that even an idiot, which there are so many in the world. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't gonna be mean, but even an idiot will not be able to misinterpret it. That's how you have to package it. So, what was Ben actually saying? So, the first part of what he was trying to convey to us is, or was trying to say in that interview, is he's not above temptation. He is attracted to women. It likes women. Is not above temptation. And I think that context is obviously from God. From like, I know I, as a man, I am not above temptation. And to walk around and think because I am a man of God, you assume like I'm not, I don't find other women attractive is a crazy idea. And I completely agree. I think that idea that when I get married, I'll automatically not be attracted to men anymore, or attracted to women anymore is a crazy idea. How is that going to work? No. You are also going to find men attractive. You are also going to find women attractive. It takes the grace of God to not be tempted, continue to die to flesh and obey God for you to stay and not cheat on your wife. This is what this man was saying. I'm going to need you guys to read Psalm 51 verse 5. So I'm just going to put that scripture real quick. That says, "For I was born a sinner, yes, from the moment my mother conceived me." We're all born in sin. Inherent sin, the original sin. We are all sinful by nature. So our natural being, our natural self will find a man that's walking down the road attractive. It is what it is. Married and not married. Our original sin wants us to be lustful. I want you guys to read the book of Romans 6 to 7, when Paul was describing how like we're inherently sinful. It was really just breaking it down about like the law and Jesus dying for us. But we as human beings are inherently sinful. And it may not just be cheating, it may be gossiping and this other things that we do. And so it takes Jesus to help us. The second part of what he was saying is being transparent in courtship and in marriage. Like he essentially tells his wife, everything, I need you to know everything about me. And the part that threw people off is when he said, if I lose her today, I wouldn't care. I don't necessarily think he meant like, oh, if I lose her today, I don't care. It's essentially saying, I'm telling you everything about me. Like I wouldn't care about like like life if I lose you. I think that's essentially what he's saying. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it really means like, oh, if I lose you today, I don't care. That's not what this man is saying. And again, the delivery is so poor because it's open to so much interpretation. Like it's just shockingly poor delivery. What he's saying is so important. We have to be transparent in relationships. We have to be able to have difficult conversations. So many people don't talk about hard things when they're courting, and then when they get married, and now is the shock of it all. You better have those conversations now and see how they react to it. Then when you get into marriage and you don't know if you say their breast sings, they will punch you in the throat. You don't know. Do it before you marry so you can know the truth. You can know that person. Also, it helps you know how to handle conflicts. Like if I tell you something that's uncomfortable, how will you react? Will you not speak to me for 2-3 days because your ego is so bruised? You know what I mean? Would you be defensive, or would you be open to a conversation and be honest? You know what I mean? So I think from what he said, it is true. We should have uncomfortable conversations. Let's watch a few videos of what some people think about the whole interview.
This is why I'm no longer looking for a so-called man of God. What you have to understand is that a lot of men have contempt for women. So what Christian men do is hide their contempt for women behind their religion, because their religion teaches them that they are stewards, that they have to lead and steward women, nani, nani, na. And so they convince themselves, and I promise you, they are convinced that it is their God-given duty to bestow what they would call, I don't know, the truth or hard truths or whatever. And it's their duty as men of God to do so. A lot of Christian men, and I'm going to find a lot of people are saying this, are incredibly delusional, right? Because when you hear this, you hear contempt, right? If I now say the same thing that Nissy T's husband said, if now I come and say as a Christian woman, woman, I'm gonna sin, like like cheating's not above me, like I'll cheat, I'm just a woman. All types of Jezebel. You'll call me all types of Jezebel.
It didn't actually say it would cheat. So if you go out and say you are going to cheat, then they will call you whatever they call you, because that's not what that man said. He did not say he's going to cheat. He simply said is not above cheating. And as a Christian man, doesn't mean he's above cheating. And also, it really makes me sad that a lot of people haven't, based on people's reactions and how people are so quick to talk about Christian men and just drag them by their edges when anything is said, especially when it comes to marriage, it really does make me sad that it just means like a lot of people haven't really experienced what good Christianity is and what good Christian men are. I've lived my life and I've seen really good people. Also, I've seen, of course, terrible people, but I've seen an example of like what a good Christian husband is, or what good Christian men are. And it really does make me sad that someone will come along and say, "This is why I'm no longer going to be dating or want to marry a Christian man." That should be our goal, to want to marry a Christian man, a godly man, a man that is following, that has a fear of God, and that should be the dream. So it must be because people haven't seen good examples. If you already have a preconceived idea of Christian men, it doesn't matter what anyone comes and tells you. It doesn't matter even if it says, "I love my wife," and my wife is she's the best woman in the world. Her breath does not smell at all. You will still say, "This man, there's a problem."
So there's another Christian man on the internet telling everyone that he cheats on his wife. Am I shocked? I'm not saying all men cheat. I'm not saying all Christian men cheat. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there's a certain type of man that cheats. If we were to collectively pull all the clips of Christian husbands that have come on this internet and told us that they cheat on their wives, and we were to look at their personalities, look at how they speak, we would see a commonality. And what's crazy is I know that these people think that they are coming online to tell us their testimony. They think they're ministering to single people, to married people. They think they're making it look like marriage is something we want to be a part of. It's doing the opposite.
Again, he didn't say he's going to cheat. Again, I don't know why people are hearing something completely different. This man never one time said he's going to cheat. He just said, "I find women attractive. I mean, it's common sense things he said. Like, I find women attractive. I still find women attractive. And to put me above that is ridiculous. It takes my walk with God." It didn't exactly say that. I'm just paraphrasing. I think the word, let me just say something now. As a Christian man, if you want to come and tell your testimony, remove cheating in it. The moment you say cheat, that word, there's nothing that can come before or after. Social media would discredit it immediately. Don't use the C word. Whatever testimony you give, don't let this be a lesson. Do not use the C word, because as soon as you use cheat, what 99% of people will hear is he cheated on his wife. For men of God or women of God that want to come and tell their testimony to single people, I want to encourage single people. It would be a shame for you for God to have done something amazing or transformed you in a way, and then you, out of not using wisdom, you kind of like validate people's negative ideas because you didn't do the work of presenting that information the right way. So I think this is a lesson. Any Christian person, anybody, especially Christians, that want to come and tell us something to encourage their story, to encourage single people, pray for wisdom. Pray for God to allow you to deliver that message properly so that you can reach the right people and the right hearts. You know what I mean? Pray and use wisdom, and do not use the word cheat if you are giving your testimony, because as soon as you say cheat, you've lost the crowd, you've lost the audience. You have lost the audience. and also for just the people that just have such negative view of relationships, and I mean, people have different reasons why they think this way. Just also know that relationships are not perfect. Relationships are messy, they're raw, but they're also incredibly beautiful. So yes, some conversations may make you uncomfortable because you don't want to hear the messy part or the raw part of it, the real part of it, and you always want to hear the pretty side. Yeah, I get it, but relationships are not content, they're real, and some people want to be real and want to be open. So if you find that honest relationship conversations makes you uncomfortable, I think the work needs to be done in you and in your heart. And yes, guys, what do you think? Do you think this man actually does hate his wife? Do you think maybe there's a little bit of contempt there, or do you think is actually a misunderstood man? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, I hope this was useful. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.